Hey guys, welcome back to another guide. Today we're doing an update on the Bossing Poison Rogue build for Season 1. This build allows you to skip all of her mechanics and is super cheese, but if you don't care to learn the fight and just want the mount and the title, I'd recommend using this build. This build is fairly easy to gear, the only things that may be difficult to get are the uniques that are used, those being Penitent Greaves, Ashiras, and Condemnation. As normal, we'll be going over skills, the skill tree, gear, aspects, and the Paragon Board. At the end, I'll also talk about some tips and what to avoid when skipping her mechanics. With that being said, let's get into it. For the skills, I'm using Poison Trap, Dash, Twisting Blades, Poison Imbuement, Smoke Grenade, and Puncture. Poison Trap for the damage multi, and Smoke Grenade for the extra crowd control. And the specialization, combo points. The idea is to stack as much CC as we can so that we can quickly stagger her and skip her phases and mechanics with our damage. So as for our skill tree, it's pretty much your standard Twisting Blades skill tree. We have Puncture, Twisting Blades with Advance, 2 into Sturdy, 3 into Siphoning, 3 into Weapon Mastery, 1 point into Dash, but you don't really need Dash for this. Then down here, we have Smoke Grenade with Subverting for even more crowd control. Poison Trap with the Subverting Poison Trap for that 10% increased poison damage multi. Then we have 3 into Exploit, 3 into Malice. Max out Poison Imbuement with Blended Poison Imbuement. 3 into Deadly Venom, 3 into Frigid Finesse, and then 3 in Innervation. This is where we get our energy sustain from. 3 into Alchemist Fortune, and 3 into Second Wind for even more lucky hit chance. 1 Adrenaline, 3 Haste, and finally we're using Close Quarters. And onto our gear and aspects, starting off with our armor. On our helmet, we want basic skill attack speed, life, crowd control duration, and ranks to poison imbuement with the Mangler's aspect to help stagger her. The chestplate is your normal defensive chestplate with life, damage reduction from close, and armor percent. But the aspect we have here is Noxious Ice, so when we stagger her, we have another damage multiplier for our poison. On our gloves, get ranks to Twisting Blades, lucky hit chance to slow, critical strike chance, and attack speed with Bursting Venoms. Bursting Venoms allows us to constantly have unlimited poison imbuement just to keep stacking poison damage on her. Pants, we have life, damage reduction from close, and armor percent with Disobedience. And for our boots, we have Penitent Greaves for the extra chill to stagger, and extra damage for when she is staggered, and the crowd control duration. And for our weapons, on our crossbow, we're using our normal Blade Dancer's crossbow with critical strike damage, vulnerable damage, core damage, and dex. For our daggers, as mentioned before, we have Ashiras and Condemnation. Ashiras is insane because it gives us up to 16.5% lucky hit and so much attack speed to help stagger and build up poison faster. And then Condemnation just because it's a huge DPS boost. And lastly, the jewelry and hearts. I really cheaped out on the jewelry. There's only a few rolls that you really need. On the amulet, you want at least to have ranks to all imbuement skills and either Malice or Deadly Venom. If you want to go all out and min-max this, get dex percent and crowd control duration as well. The aspect we have is Corruption to increase our poison imbuement's damage. For your rings, you want to have at least crit chance and lucky hit chance. For more damage, get vulnerable damage and poison damage as well. The aspects get Accelerating and Rapid for more attack speed. We get our energy sustained from the passive Innervation, so with so much lucky hit, if we run out of energy, just hold Puncture down for a second and you'll be full. And for your hearts, on your jewelry, you'll want to have at least 2 Devious sockets, and the last can be any color. We have Calculate because we attack so fast that we spend that 150 energy very quickly, so that 5-second stun is a huge boost to our stagger. Next is Clip Shot, again because of our lucky hit chance and attack speed, it's amazing for stagger. And finally, Creeping Death. When she's staggered, our damage just skyrockets, allowing us to just do so much damage that we skip phases and all of her mechanics. And lastly, we have our Paragon boards. Starting off with the glyphs, we're picking up Closer, going on for Tracker, Chip, Turf, Control, and Ambush. The legendary nodes that we pick up are Exploit Weakness, Tricks of the Trade, and Eldritch Bounty. Other than that, we just pick up some of these magic nodes on our way to Exploit Weakness. And as normal, I'll have a link for the D4 builds in the description below so you can follow it more closely there. And finally, we're going to talk about some mechanics of skipping the mechanics. So some things that you should be aware of, starting with the first phase. There really isn't anything specific here. If you don't stagger and phase her, then just run out of the ring and reset. For the most part, the first phase is super easy. However, on the second phase, there are a few things to note here. So as soon as she spawns in, you need to stagger her as fast as possible so she doesn't slam down. If she does her slam, then when the area starts to break and she's flying around to destroy it, she'll start spawning fireballs and makes it very difficult to finish the fight with those fireballs because they do one-shot you. So what I do is I'll drop 2 poison traps on her spawn point and then start attacking to build up some attack speed, and when her stagger bar is about 60%, then drop the stun grenade, and then you'll just DPS as normal. If you've done this, then you're set for the most part. She'll fly around the area, destroying it. Do not stagger her again until she's destroyed the top, the right, and the left and comes back to the middle. When she's back in the middle, you're free to finish the fight. However, if you do stagger her before then, she'll start spawning her minions and fireballs will start to spawn again. And lastly, sometimes when she's destroyed the arena, right at the end, she'll summon her shadow clone looking thing and it'll attack you and it will one-shot you. So when you kill her, just start running around in a circle, kind of close to the edge to avoid getting hit by it. And if you've done all that, then you've officially cheesed the Lilith fight. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed this guide, make sure to drop a like and let me know what you think of the build, or if you have any questions in the comments below. I'll be posting a dungeon version of this build, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And that's all for today. Remember to have fun and take care.